صلي على رسول الكريم. Read Bismillah. What you got? What? Okay, right. So Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, this masla here that we're going to discuss here, it can apply to the males and it can apply to the females. Like what? How it apply to the males? What they saying there? وَإِذَا فَاتَتْهُ رَكْعَتَا الْفَجْرِ, when the 2 rakats of Fajr missed him. You know, I remember our Ustad was always telling us, you never say, the kitab don't say you must the namaz. We say the namaz must you. You know what is the benefit of saying that? They're saying that إِذَا فَاتَتْهُ الصَّلَاةُ, when the salat must him. Not when you miss the salat. Why? Because a Muslim never must salah. Sometimes due to extenuating circumstances, the salah misses him. You understand the point? It's not possible that a Muslim intentionally misses his salah. It's not possible. It's not possible that a Muslim can see the time is going out and I never read my salah. Okay, I'll read it later. So a Muslim doesn't miss his salah. Yes, the salah misses him sometimes because of circumstances beyond his control. He's sick, he's ill. Allah Ta'ala protect us all. Give us good health. Or he's stuck in traffic, or is something like which beyond his control. So, وَإِذَا فَاتَتُ رَكْعَةَ الْفَجْرِ, when the 2 rakats of Fajr missed him, لَا يَقْضِيهَا قَبْلَ طُلُوعِ الشَّمْسِ, he will not make qadha before the rising of sun. So I told you this is for a man. This could be like this here. You came to the masjid and the fatwa is on this one here. And I told you, although the kitab say you won't read your sunnahs if you feel you're not going to get a 1 rakat. But the correct fatwa is this. Mister, you will take your shoes with your left hand. Take shoes with the left hand. Right? So that if I join, I'll at least get the imam before he makes salam. I'll get a portion of the shahud with him. Then you must read your sunnahs, right? So if a man came to the masjid and he said, no, if I read my sunnahs now, maybe the imam was already in the shahud. If I read my sunnahs, I'm going to miss completely. Then he must join the imam. So there's no way he can read his sunnahs after the Fajr namaz. We will, if he's going to read sunnahs, where there's some more explanation will come there, we'll discuss that explanation. But if in the case where he's permitted to read the sunnah namaz, it will be after the rising of sun, 15 to 20 minutes after the rising of the sun. Are you with me? And how this will be applied to a woman. I told you maybe a woman, it happened like this here. She overslept. Maybe say sunrise here in PE, at the moment sunrise is 5+6, right? So for a woman, this would apply in this sense. She woke up at 10 to 6. She made it quick. And she said, now look here, if I'm going to read my sunnats, then I won't be able to, I'll miss the faraz. So you rather go for the faraz. So she can't, after she read the sunnats, say, I'm going to read this. After read the faraz, I'm going to read the sunnats. She will read the sunnats. When will she read the sunnats? After sunrise, but also there's some explanation that's going to come there, right? So in fatatu rakat al-fajr la yaqiha qabla tulu shamsi, and what is the reasoning? The same reason that we done before, that mutlaqan, you cannot read any nafal namaz after you've done your fajr faraz. In fact, not only after your fajr faraz, you can't read any sunnahs after you've read your sunnahs of fajr. In between the fajr and the sunnahs and the fajr namaz, there's no nafal namaz also, nah? There's no nafal namaz also, right? So لأنه لا يبقى نفلا مطلقا وهو مكروه بعد الصبح, right? لأنه because لا يبقى نفلا مطلقا, there's no nafal remains, right? أو وهو مكروه, it is makruh بعد الصبح. Subh refers to the break of dawn. After the break of dawn, there's only one, right? Carry on. Right. So here we're still dealing with the scenario. Listen nicely. You have to follow this nicely. We're still dealing with a scenario where you read your faraz namaz in its proper time. You read the faraz namaz in its proper time. I tell you, a woman also, she read the faraz namaz. So according to Imam Abu Hanifa and Imam Yusuf, if you read your faraz namaz, you can't make sunnats of your, you can't make qadha of your sunnats. You missed it. Hard luck. It's gone. You lost that reward. You lost it completely. Maybe that's not, I mean, maybe you can maybe do some nafal namaz just to compensate, but obviously it's not the same. It's not the same. Like how the hadith say, you know, if you miss a fast of Ramadan intentionally, you can fast 1,000 or million or a billion other nafil namaz. It won't make up for that one Ramadan fast. Same thing here. If you missed it, you can maybe try to give some charity or try to, but it's not the same because there's an emphasis on it. So, in simple words, what Imam Hanifa and Imam is saying, there's no there's no qadha of the sunnat of Fajr as a standalone. As a standalone. Carry on. So as Imam Muhammad قال أحب, it is more beloved to me that أيقضيه ما قضاء it إلى وقت الزوال, to the time of zawal. At once he can still make, even if he read his Fajr Faraz, or she read her Fajr Faraz, but till zawal time you can make qadha. Now you lose nothing to do it. Say for instance it's not accepted, then it's just a nafil namaz. You see what I'm saying? So if you did miss it, then make the qadha, inshallah. We hope that Allah Ta'ala will accept it, even though Imam Hanifa and Imam Yusuf say it's not valid. But you lose nothing. It's not a makruh time. It's a time of nafal, etc., etc. You understand what I'm saying? So, وَقَالَ مُحَمَّدٌ أَحَبُّ إِلَيَّ أَيْقْبِيمَ إِلَى وَقْتِ الزَّوَالِ. So according to Imam Muhammad, until zawal, you can do a standalone qadha of your sunnat of Fajr, right? And what's the problem? What's the proof that? Yeah. So, and what's the proof? Remember the famous incident, you definitely do it, inshallah, in one of the hadith books, that Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, once he was traveling late at night, so Nabi Sallallahu said, "Ma yakla'u layla, we'll look after the night for us." Well, I was because we're tired, we're going to sleep now. So as Bilal looked after was awake all night, but just before Fajr time, he leaned against his camel and he slept away, and he woke up with the sun beating on his face. And then they must Fajr. So Nabi Sallallahu said, let's leave this place because this is a place where Allah Ta'ala has been disobeyed. The place where Allah Ta'ala has been disobeyed. This not openly, but I mean like, a transgression. That's why they say also, ulama say, from amongst tawbah, if you are doing something wrong, then from amongst tawbah, try to get out of that environment, try to get out of that place, etc. He moved to another place and then he made qadha of the sunnats and of the farz. So they say, see, so as Imam Muhammad see here is qadha of the sunnats, right? لأنه عليه السلام, because Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam qadahuma, he made qadha of them too, بعد ارتفاع الشمس, after the rising of the sun, غداة ليلة التعريس, on the morning of Laylatul Ta'ris. So remember this Laylatul Ta'ris, inshallah, you will do it in detail. In fact, maybe you'll do it in all the hadith books. You'll do it maybe in all Say Sita. You'll do this. There's a famous hadith, right? Carry on. Right. So, what the proof of Imam Abu Hanifa and Abu Yusuf? وَلَهُمَا أَنَّ الْأَصْلَ فِي السُنَّةِ, the asal with regards to sunnah, أَلَّا تُقْضَى, it is no qadha of it, لِإِخْتِصَاصِ الْقَضَاءِ بِالْوَاجِبِ. You only make qadha of farz and wajib. Yeah, wajib is not in the technical sense of wajib. Technically, wajib is slightly lesser than farz. You know that, ne? Yusuf? Wajib is technically like, because the proof of wajib is also mandatory to do it, but it is not as strong as the proof of farz. But here they don't mean that technical wajib. They mean just that which is obligatory. So it means that you only make qadha of farz and wajib. You follow, you understood what I'm saying properly, Yusuf? Qadha is not in the technical meaning of wajib. Yeah. Sorry, wajib. Qadha. Wajib is not in the meaning of technical wajib. It is the meaning of what is obligatory. And what is obligatory? It is the faraz and the wajib, right? So you say, look here, the default ruling. What is it? The default ruling is that qadha is only on that which is obligatory, right? So now we have to answer them to Imam Muhammad's proof. We say, look here, Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, when he missed the faraz namaz, he made sunnahs with the Sahaba Ikram, and after the sunnahs, they made fajr namaz in Jamaat. So we need to answer that. So here's our answer, right? You got baqa or baqiyah. Yeah. So look here, you done this here, Luqman. You done this in usul hadith. إذا ثبت خلاف القياس يختص على مورده. When something is proven contrary to logic, it remains to that incident. You don't extend it to the next. I'll give you a simple thing to understand. With Reza finishes on this on a Friday at 11 o'clock, right? So this Friday, I said, look here, everybody can go home at 11:30. Is that the norm or the exception? As an exception. So now next week, will you say, hey, Mufti said last week we can all go home at 12:30, so this week we're also going to go home at 12:30? No, because that was proven contrary to logic. So the default ruling is that there is no qadha of what? Of sunnats. What? The default ruling is that there's no qadha of sunnats. But here we got the incident where Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he made qadha of sunnat when he made qadha of the farz. So yukhtassu ala mawridihi. So we won't say, okay, since Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam made qadha of sunnats when he done his farz, that means you can also make qadha of sunnats in his own. No. When something has been established contrary to logic, it is restricted to that incident only. You do not extend it, you not extrapolate from things that are contrary to logic. You understand what I'm saying? And the technical word is ثبت خلاف القياس يختص على مورده. When something is established contrary to logic, it remains restricted and confined to that incident. So the incident where Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam made qadha of his sunnat, it was restricted to where he made qadha of the farz as well. So we'll say you can only make qadha of the sunnats when you're making qadha of the farz as well. That's what they're saying there. وَالْحَدِيثُ وَرَدَ فِي قَضَائِهَا. And the hadith has been narrated in its qadha تَبَعًا لِلْفَرْضِ, following the farz, right? فَبَقِيَ وَرَاءَهُ الْأَصْلِ. So the original of no qadha of the sunnah that remain in its place, right? وَإِنَّمَا تُقْضَى تَبَعًا لَهُ. You'll only make qadha when following, when it is linked up with the farz, right? Carry on from there, Yusuf. So they're saying here, now if you missed your farz in Jama'at, right? You missed your farz, a whole Jama'at missed the farz namaz, then you read your sunnats and you make the farz namaz in Jama'at. وَهُوَ يُصَلِّي بِالْجَمَعَةِ. So you can read it in Jama'at. Although from the other place we saw there, they say it's better to read in Jama'at. Why? Because you're maintaining the asal. What is the asal? The asal is to read it in Jama'at, right? So وَهُوَ يُصَلِّي بِالْجَمَعَةِ أَوْ وَحْدَهُ. Or you can read it alone. That means each one read it individually. But from other texts we learn it's better to read it in Jama'at for the men, right? Right? إِلَى وَقْتِ الزَّوَالِ. To zawal, right until zawal now. They say you read the sunnats on your own and you make Jama'at. وَفِيمَا بَعْدَهُ. But after zawal, will you still make? Yes, you after zawal, if you miss the farz, you still have to make the qadha of the farz. There's no doubt with regards to it. But after the zawal, will you make the sunnah still? وَفِيمَا بَعْدَهُ اِخْتِلَافُ الْمَشَايِخِ. That means the zawal came and went and you still never make qadha. So now you want to make qadha of the farz after zawal. Can you still read your sunnats? There is ikhtilaf amongst the ulama. There is, right? وَفِيمَا بَعْدَهُ اِخْتِلَافُ الْمَشَايِخِ وَأَمَّا سَائِرُ السُّنَنِ. So as for all the sunnats besides this, now we're speaking about your Zohr sunnats, before Zohr, after Zohr, before Asr, after Maghrib, after Isha, etc., etc., right? وَأَمَّا سَائِرُ السُّنَنِ سِوَاهَا فَلَا تُقْضَى بَعْدَ الْوَقْتِ وَحْدَهُ. You will not, as for all the other sunnats, you will not make qadha. Qadha will not be made once the time go out on its own, right? So you say, now I was busy today, I only read my farz namaz. At night time now I'm going to read all my sunnat namaz. Well, you won't get the same reward of the sunnat. Once the sunnat is gone, it's gone. But if you want to make listen nicely what I'm saying, an extra nafal to compensate for that, then you can do that. But you are not making qadha of your sunnah. One is gone, it's gone, right? وَاخْتَلَفَ الْمَشَايِخُ فِي قَضَائِهَا تَبَعًا لِلْفَرْضِ. And then if you missed your farz, can you then make your qadha of sunnat? What did they say here? وَاخْتَلَفَ الْمَدَسِ. See, they were saying فَلَا تُقْضَى بَعْدَ الْوَقْتِ وَحْدَهُ. That's unanimous amongst all the ulama. If you missed your sunnats, you read the farz, but you missed the sunnats, wahdahu, there's no way you can read it. But if you missed the farz and the sunnah together, Then here they say, واختلف المشايخ في قضائها. Our mashayikh, when you say mashayikh, what do you mean? Like the seniors in the madhab. Obviously, there only be a khilaf when there's nothing explicit from Imam Abu Hanifa. Obviously, when there's something explicit from Imam Hanifa, then there's no khilaf, because you just take what Imam Hanifa said. Or maybe there's differing calls from Imam Hanifa. Now, what one do we give fatwa on? You understand what I'm saying? But on that, you do more. If you do the iftar, you do more of that there. So there is some ulama that say that if you miss the Zohr namaz, then you can make, when you're making qadha, you can make the sunnat with it. But as far as my memory serves me, the fatwa is not on this here. You can check it up. There's a kitabs, you can check it up. As far as my memory serves me, that even if you miss the faraz namaz, there's no qadha of the sunnat with it. Right? Okay, we're going to stop there. Okay, let's stop there, because you still have to do the anjuman and all this stuff. You can live stream the what you call it also. Don't live, no? You speak.